Hey, good morning, everybody. May 31st, 2026. I thought I would do a garden tour. I've done this before in the past and got some pretty good feedback. And I always love doing these mainly because I'm looking for ideas from my viewers out there. Maybe you've got experience with some of the plants that I own. Maybe you have some other ideas that I haven't thought about with my setup. But anyway, I always love the feedback and I love meeting fellow gardeners out there. So first of all, thanks for being here. If you like my videos, like this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like. I'm trying my best to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm getting close, but not there yet. But I would really appreciate it if you haven't subscribed, if you would. Again, if you like my content. All right, so a couple things to show. Greg's Mist Flower when you walk into my gate. A couple hanging baskets. I'm honestly not sure what these little flowers are, but they seem to fit the spot pretty well. I do have a question about honeysuckle. So I've got two different types of honeysuckle. One of them is here. I've got it in this pot growing up my metal fence. And then I've got another one over here, kind of doing the same thing in this pot here, growing up the fence. I really have had no luck with honeysuckle. I don't know if I'm not giving it enough sun. I don't know if it would be happier in the ground, but if you have any thoughts, I love the smell of honeysuckle. I think the blooms are so cool. But like, this is the only bloom that I've had on either one of these honeysuckles all year. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that. Porterweed firecracker plant over here in this hanging basket. Kalanchoe, got a little bird, bird nest or little bird hideout or lizard hideout up here on the fence. When you come into the backyard, I'll just kind of show you the view as you walk into the gate. I'm into container plants, or I've gotten into them more over the past few years. This is a thornless crown of thorns. Really like this plant. It's been really happy this year and putting off some blooms. I haven't seen this in any other garden center. I found it one time years ago. I got a cutting from somebody, and it's just been a really fun plant. It seems odd that it would be one of my favorite plants in such a small spot in my patio, but I love that plant. Smoke sage, I believe is the name of this one. I'm not sure if this is what it's supposed to look like this time of year. I can't tell if it's normal or if it's not happy, but that's a smoke sage. Chickadee house. This is a pomegranate. A pot here with a bunch of mixed cannas. I've never been much of a canna person, so anytime somebody gives me one, I just throw them all in the same pot and just have a little canna story over there. Got a bird bath here. There's no water in it at the moment. Trying to figure out if I'm gonna leave it there or move it somewhere else. But patio area here. Don't really have a whole lot going on there at this time. Some more bird houses. Another Kalanchoe back here in the corner. Little area just of some mixed pots. Nothing really too exciting here. This is kind of where if I do anything with succulents, I throw my succulents. I've never had much luck growing succulents. But anyway, I do have a few of them over there. This is one of my all-time favorite plants. It's getting ready to open up and bloom. This is Texas Star Hibiscus. So keep an eye on my videos in the future. I'll be sure and post once these open up. The blooms on this plant are really cool. But all of my Texas Star Hibiscus are same kind of deal. Whenever I get a new cutting or seeds, I just throw them on the same pot and let them take off. It's really been thirsty lately. In fact, this one looks like it's coming out. I need to give it some water. That's a plant that loves water. Bougainvillea. This is my Barbados cherry tree. It's actually doing really well this year. I've never had it produce cherries, but I've also never had it put off so many leaves this year. So I'm hoping maybe this is the year that I get some Arceola cherries. Over here in the back of this flower bed, this is Hot Lips Salvia. Pretty cool plant. It always comes in and out of bloom. I love the blooms. Sometimes they're red, sometimes they're white, sometimes they're a mix of red and white. So I've got a few red and white blooms on there. And then here's another one back here. This is my, real quick before I walk by it, my Tabasco plant. I've got Tabasco peppers all over it. It's another one that's been doing really well this spring and early summer. But here's my other Hot Lips Salvia over here. That's a plant that just grows and grows. Very easy to trim and shape though, so I like it a lot. And then when you walk over here to this flower bed, this is kind of the main focus of my backyard, is this bed here. I've got some plumerias over here on the side, more plumerias on this side. They kind of give me some different structure in the bed. But really the stars of the bed right now are my lantana plants. They are just going crazy. They always love these pots that I have them in and put off a ton of blooms. I mean, this plant, you could look back through my old videos. I mean, when it started, it was the size of my hand, and I trim it back, cut it back to the ground every year, and it just comes back stronger and stronger. But here's the other one over here. This one's not quite as big. It doesn't get as much sun, but still pretty cool. This is, it's a Fire Witch Dianthus is the name of that plant. I kind of rotate plants in and out of that container. It's the backdrop for my smart bird bath, even though it's a smart bird feeder that I have positioned on my bird bath. But it kind of gives me some change in variety with my backdrop in my videos that I get of the birds that come to my bird bath. So that's the setup for that. This is one of my salvia plants. It has stopped blooming. I don't know if it's done blooming for this time of the season, but anyway, I've got one here and I've got another one right over there. I did plant this plant here. This is banana, sorry, not banana. I'm drawing a blank on the name of this plant. It'll come to me in a second. But it was one that I was having no luck growing it, and I'm totally blanking out on this plant. So if anyone wants to comment on it, if they can think of it, I'll throw it in the comments if it doesn't come to me. But anyway, I put one in front of that plumeria, and then over here, I put another one in front of this plumeria as well. But it's one that I really don't know what's going on with that plant. I kind of got to the point where, hey, I'm throwing it in the ground. It's on its own, and we'll see if it can rebound, because it wasn't doing very good when it was in containers. But anyway, this is kind of the main bed. Foxtail ferns. This is one of my salvia plants as well. It was going crazy earlier in the spring season, but it finally got to where it was so big I cut it back, and I think it's done blooming for a while, or it's going to take a while before it recovers. This middle plant here is Flame Acanthus. This is another plant, if anyone has any advice, it always grows really well. It looks very healthy. I've never gotten this plant to bloom. I've never gotten a bloom off of it at all, and everyone seems to swear by, you know, that it's a hummingbird magnet and the hummingbirds love it and it always blooms. Mine's never bloomed. It gets full sun. I don't know what I need to do with it, but anyway, that's my main bed. I'll walk over here and show you my kind of secondary bed over here. Got some goldenrod plants. These tall ones here, just to give me a little bit of height. I have a butterfly weed, and then I've got another lantana bush over here, Lantana camara. This one blooms a little bit different, but I really like the blooms on it. It gives me a little bit more of a purple tone in my garden. Another bird bath over here. I've got it empty right now. I'm trying to clean these out a little bit, and I really want the birds going to my smart bird bath, just because that's the one that gives me the video footage. Another thing I wanted to show over here in this bed, this is my cigar plant. It's actually Vermillionaire is the name of it. Great plant. I mean, it stays in bloom all year long. Pollinators love it. And I also have this Gilbertson bluebird house. I do have bluebirds nesting in it. I'm not going to open it up. There is an egg in it right now. I did a short video on that this morning, but bluebirds are still using the bird houses, so that's really cool. And then over here, I've got another lantana. This is my white lantana. And then wedged into the middle of it, I have another butterfly weed kind of growing in between it. Okay. Now here's the thing I want to show, and I would love some feedback. This is a brand new setup. This was not here before. I just set this up yesterday, so I really need some advice on this plant. First of all, does this look crazy in my backyard? With this, I'm hoping you can see it in the video. I've got this huge wire fence that I took from my parents' farm. They had this laying in their barn, and it wasn't being used, and I thought maybe I can use it to grow something up, like a trellis that's being wedged into a pot. So I took this whiskey barrel. I picked up some pintas that were on clearance yesterday at my local grocery store. They were $3 a piece, so I invested $12, got me some pintas in the whiskey barrel. I actually like the way they look a lot. But my question is, the plant that I have in the middle of the whiskey barrel is a plant called Cardinal Climber. I have it in a pot, and then I've got this wire fence going all the way up it, and I'm gonna try and see if that Cardinal Climber will grow all the way up and fill out that fence area. What I'm looking for from you guys is this a good idea? Is that the right plant? Should I get rid of Cardinal Climber, because I've heard it can be kind of invasive, rip it out, and instead maybe put one of my honeysuckles or both of my honeysuckles in here and let the honeysuckles grow up it? Or should I get rid of this wire fence altogether and just go with a normal setup in the middle of that pod in between those Pintas. Anyway, I'm basically repurposing supplies that I had from my parents' farm and trying something new that's a little bit more eye-catching on the patio. But the more I look at it, I'm like, is it eye-catching or is it a little odd to have something that crazy going on my patio? So anyway, I'd love your feedback. I'd love your thoughts if you have any ideas. Thanks so much. Last thing I'll show is my water feature. So again, all of my wildlife at nighttime, a lot of time the raccoons and possums, they come and drink water from here. And then they've got the bird bath over in the flower bed. So I try and give plenty of water in my yard for all the critters at nighttime. And that's pretty much it. So it's the end of May. Everything looks really good, really healthy right now. I love coming out here this time of day before it gets too hot. But anyway, that's a quick look at my garden. Thank you so much for coming along. And again, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And like I said before, if you have any ideas, think I should change some things up, have any recommendations, anything that you've done before. Hey, also check my comments if you like these kind of videos. There's 2 people that I follow on a regular basis. One of them is a gentleman down in Georgia, and another one is a young lady who's really right down the road from me on the outskirts of Houston. From what I can tell, I think she's a little bit south of me. But anyway, if you like these garden tours, they've got great YouTube channels. I'm gonna put those in the comments. Maybe give them a like and follow as well. But you know, other than that, here's the tour. Enjoy your Sunday. If you're outside, stay hydrated, stay cool, and we'll catch you in about a month and I'll show you how everything's looking at that point. Take care. Thanks for coming.